Wisconsin's Road America, the next stop for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and they are getting ready to qualify on the 4-mile road course, which covers 640 acres of beautiful Wisconsin land. Hi, everyone. I'm Dave Burns, along with Dale Jarrett in the booth. We'll be watching from above, while down below, Parker Kligerman and Landon Castle will be following up on all the stories, talking to the drivers, and figuring out what in the world is happening today at Road America. The weather has been great, 73 degrees and overcast now. Good opportunity for racing this afternoon. Doesn't look like we're going to get any wet weather, but you never know. It is Wisconsin, and it has been a wet summer. What you can expect today on NBCSN, this qualifying session, of course, will lead us right to the race eventually this afternoon. And 3 o'clock, Xfinity Series road course racing from Road America. 2:30, join us for Countdown to Green. And then tonight, IndyCar Series pre-race starts at 8 o'clock with IndyCar racing from Gateway at 8:30. Good look down the row of cars getting ready to qualify, Dale, in 2 rounds today. What will be their main focus in trying to get the car in the race cleanly, but also get the highest position possible?
Well, it might seem rather simply stated, but staying on the track is of utmost importance. Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you're going to run a good lap, and you want to get this done in 1 lap. There's 25 minutes there, but again, this is a 4-mile road course, 14 turns, a lot of shifting, a lot of things happening, and by the time you go out and get your up-to-speed lap and then make your lap and then you're cooling down, trying to stay out of the way, you're just getting a lot of time on the tires. And you don't want to put any more there than what you have to, because there is fall-off in these tires. So they'll try to get it done in 1 lap. Everybody won't make that happen. And if you do mess up, hopefully you've put enough or left enough tape off of this car to where you might run a second lap instead of coming back in and trying to cool down and just get it done at one time. It's better for your rhythm if you're able to do that.
So you guys are talking about it just now, that 14 turns, 4-mile road course that we have here at Road America. So how do you get a good lap in qualifying? Well, the key is to not compound mistakes. What I mean by that, and DJ, you kind of alluded to it there on the track map, and that is, if you make a mistake down to turn 5, the braking zone, don't try to make up for it in 6. Don't try to make up for it in the braking zone of 9. Don't make up for it in the carousel, because if you do that, you're just going to continually compound those mistakes, and before you know it, that lap time, which was very close to being a good lap, will be maybe a second or a second and a half slower, and that is what these drivers are not going to want to do in qualifying, Landon.
Parker's talking about compounding mistakes. I want to talk about compounding the time on your tires and the age that it puts on those tires. These tires at Road America fall off 3 or 4 seconds just after 5 laps on them. So if you're thinking about 2 qualifying laps, well, there's an in and an out lap on each end of that run. So that's an additional 4 laps that these drivers have to put on their tires that they have to start the race on. So I'm looking for the drivers that are saving their tires on their out lap, making a good hard qualifying lap, but then also saving their tires and cooling their car down as much as they can on their in lap, Dave.
Don't compound your mistakes. Don't compound the laps on your tires if you can help it, Dale. A lot going on even in qualifying.
Yeah, I didn't know Parker had ever watched me try to road race, but I felt like that he was talking about watching me drive and compounding my mistakes.
The session has started. NASCAR has put out the green flag, and there they go, wasting no time, and I'm assuming, Dale, to get a clean track.
Yeah, certainly. You want to get out there, nobody out in front of you. There's been couple of races this morning, so there's a little different rubber that's down. I don't think that's quite as much of a disadvantage on a road course as we see on ovals when these drivers a lot of times won't go out because of that different rubber. But Justin Allgaier is ready to attack today.
And DJ, yeah, you noticed there, Justin Allgaier, he told me just before this session he wanted to be the first car out because he wanted to be able to maybe make a mistake, and if he does have another run in this session, he felt like going out early was going to allow him to do that. And then if you look behind him, you saw the 00 of Cole Custer also went out. I was actually surprised by that because his crew said, they didn't want to be the first car out there, one of the first few cars, because of that rubber you mentioned, but they felt like if the track is clear, then maybe that's the best thing, is to have clear track.
Hey, Parker, how far around, as far as getting up speed to save your tires, are you basically taking it easy? Are you getting all the way around to turns 9 and 10 before you actually really start getting after it?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I mean, as I watch Justin go here, this is a portion of the racetrack I'd still be taking it easy. I'm just kind of easing my shifts, easing into the throttle off the corners. You know, I'm trying to warm the brakes, but not too much. You know, I want them to kind of be in that perfect temperature range. And then as I come to the carousel here, I really do not lean on the car right here. That's where you just don't want to really wear those tires or heat them up too much at all. And then as I come to the backside and through Canada Corner, that's when I start to say, okay, now it's go time. Let's go after it. Because, oh, wow, and Justin actually went off the sideways a little bit. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't compound the problems after that. Here's the bumper cam we have with Justin all day. And now, as Parker said, coming up to speed here in the treacherous Canada Corner.
Yeah, the guys described this great yesterday, showing there, and you could see it from the bumper cam. It's just, you really can't see that corner, and you're approaching it at a very high rate of speed, and that's why we saw a number of drivers off into the gravel trap there yesterday.
It's the rev limiter. Okay, so now Allgaier is going to get serious, coming to the start-finish line to start his hot lap. He'll get close to 170 miles an hour right here. Through the gearbox, on the brakes, right-hander.
Yeah, this part of the track is about momentum right here. You want to keep the RPMs as much up as much as you possibly can through this part. You can go ahead and use up a lot of tire, because if you can make good time where there is fast speeds involved, then you can certainly kind of put your lap down to where you can make it through the rest of the course without having to attack and get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, Dave, that's a good point, that those tires being brand new for the first half of the lap are going to have more grip in them than the second half of the lap. So the driver might be driving to 105% for the first half of the lap, but then sliding around a little bit more once those tires have heat in them for the second half.
Hearing the voices of Landon Castle and Parker Kligerman, drivers who know what they're talking about. In the Xfinity Series, Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett joining me here, watching the first round of qualifying at Road America.
Yeah, tough part of the track here through the carousel there. You're wanting to get the power down as much as you can. And you're leaning away from your gear shift, and you're having to make a shift. Parker and Landon were pointing that out yesterday, how difficult that is, not to make a mistake there. And then again, another high-speed part of the track.
And this is what I was wondering, coming up on another race car now.
Yes.
Did someone send their drivers out? Yep. At the very end of the possibilities there, and is Allgaier going to catch him?
Yeah, this is where you start. You can't lose focus while you're looking at this right now, because you see that possibility, but don't lose focus as to what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Looks like it might work out okay because you've got this straightaway, so it didn't happen, but it's very easy to kind of get mad right quick because this situation was occurring. Now he's actually utilizing the draft a little bit on this long straightaway to try to get a little bit more speed.
Whew, that barely worked out. Coming up on the back of Stephen Light in the 74.
That's a little quicker than he ran yesterday, but not as quick a lap as what our fast lap was. That was down in the 212 range, just under 213.
It's interesting how this can all work out, Dale, because there's not a NASCAR official with a signboard down there saying go or don't go. It's crews and spotters saying, hey, go now, go now. And so if the track becomes clogged, it's no one's fault.
No, it's not anybody's fault. I mean, you can blame somebody, but in this situation, it's just a matter that, you hope that by being the first one out on the track, that was it. And this is a 4-mile road course. You got plenty of room to go and stay out of my way, but it may happen at some point in time. And even your responsibility is not over once you complete the lap, because you want to stay out of the way unless you want to hinder somebody's lap and make somebody mad to start with. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Probably not at the beginning of the day. Matt Tifft, as a driver, will be watching very closely today. Finished so well here last year after having the lead late in the race.
Good lap for him there. A second quick. And we have to believe that he's somebody that will be watching in contention late in this race.
Don't forget, it was that car that went to victory lane a couple of races ago here with Michael McDowell when he drove for Richard Childress. Good history with the two. Brendan Gaughan up up and over the hill.
We talked about Brendan Gaughan yesterday, coming back to Road America, a track that he's extremely comfortable at in the braking zones, but he wasn't happy with his brake package at Mid-Ohio. So he had his crew chief, Nick Harrison, talking about what they can change with the brake pedal and their master cylinder assembly to get him some more feel, because what he had at Mid-Ohio was too stiff. He didn't feel like he could modulate the brake pedal, and he felt like he needs to come back to Road America and be able to modulate those brakes in these long straightaways and tight braking zones so that he can manage wheel hop and manage front tire slide.
Yeah, Landon, good reminder. And to have that right, DJ, makes so much difference.
Yeah, and it is about feel, because that's what this type of racing is about. And if you don't feel like, if that pedal is too hard, you have no idea how much more pressure you need to put there to get your car to do and react the way that you want to. You find yourself on the brake a little too much. I always did if I had that situation.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like a driver's braking performance can be 90% actual mechanical braking performance, but that extra 10% of performance you can get from feel. So that's where Brendan and Nick were focusing on, is just his feel with the pedal.
Ty Majeski in the 60 car, putting down a good lap here. And if you want to know where victory lane is at Road America, you can ask Ty.
Yeah.
He was there this morning in the Trans Am Series.
Had a rather eventful practice yesterday afternoon, spinning out a couple of times, but never hitting anything, so good to go in that respect. I'm looking up here, Dave, at the 5th and 6th qualifiers are the drivers that finished 1st and 2nd here in this race last year.
Got some speed in their cars, too. Majeski, by the way, one of 5 drivers who raced in the TA2 division of the Trans Am Series this morning. Got good laps there.
Amazing how many cars I'm seeing around each other on a 4-mile road course here.
Right.
Everybody. But we have a lot of cars on the track.
They decided now is the time to go. You're on board with Elliott Sadler.
This is Elliott coming to basically take the green on his lap. Hall of Famer Bill Elliott here.
What fun for everyone this weekend. The Hall of Famer comes out of retirement, doesn't plan to do this in any sort of a full-time manner, but his son Chase helped get the ball rolling at GMS Racing to put Bill in a car at Road America, and by golly, if they didn't get the Junior Johnson paint scheme just about right. On board with Ryan Truex, who will be carrying our helmet cam today. I'm seeing a lot of ones here, DJ.
Yes. See if it's a popular number right now. And here Elliott's trying to negotiate turn 6, left-hander there.
Down the hill, little bend to the right-hander 7 and a left-hand 8 to set up the carousel.
A lot of drivers frustrated with the congestion on the track. This is that part of a qualifying session where you're kind of in the middle, and there's all the cars that are going to be on the track are on the track right now. And so you have guys that are coming out on the track doing their slow lap, saving their tires coming to the green, but you have guys that are on their hot lap. And a lot of cases, these guys get in each other's way, and it makes the drivers extremely frustrated on the radio.
You can see Elliott Sadler approaching the car here. Let's see if he's going to... Yeah, he's able to get by there without any problem.
Coming up on Ryan Ellis, who's already posted his time, 11th quick for Ellis so far in BJ McLeod's 78 car.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, as we were pointing out, you know, your job's not over once you've completed your lap or 2 laps, whatever you're going to decide to take there. You know, then you have a responsibility to basically get out of the way and try to stay out of the way. But that's difficult to do also with, you know, you're trying not to abuse your tires any more than you have to. See what Sadler's going to be able to do here.
Not in the green compared to Custer, who obviously put down a very good lap.
Hey guys, as we saw Bill Elliott, we watched Elliott Sadler finish his lap. Bill Elliott up there in 11th. I actually think that was a big pickup for him from practice. He was in the 217 range in practice, and that was almost in the 215. So a huge pickup for Bill Elliott here in qualifying. Guys, just as you noted, he is having a blast. I talked to him this morning. He had a huge smile on his face. He said, "This is so much fun."
Yeah, it's all about celebrating Bill Elliott this weekend. He said, "I don't have to do great. I just want to have fun."
Yeah. He's earned that right to do that.
I'm not going to try to do great.
Yeah.
But
no, absolutely. He's so competitive.
Speaking of great, can he hang on to it? Austin Cindric, what a lockup and save heading into Canada corner. That took some talent.
Unbelievable. You know, the thing that they'll have to look at there, did he flat spot those front tires, locking it up that hard? He is attacking this thing.
Looks like he's on track to get into round 2. Well, he's at least going to be ahead of Custer. Going up the hill here, let's see if the clock goes in the right direction for him. It's hanging in there, about 2/10 better than Cole's lap.
Yeah, he's going to be the first driver, it looks like, down in the 212 bracket.
There it is, shut her down. But you're right, Dale, that was a lot of tire smoke.
Yes,
it
was. I don't even know how he saved that race car. Unbelievable. I mean, right here,
that was really impressive by Cindric, guys. And we're watching this replay there. I just wanted to add in that, you know, he told me before this, he felt like this car compared to last year, he loved the brakes on this car. He felt like it was the best braking performance he's had. And he really felt like they had more speed. And he was wondering, you know, at Mid-Ohio, they were kind of in a similar position in practice. And then he went into the qualifying, and he was a half a second faster than everyone. And then they got in the race, he was a second faster. So he said, you know, I'll be interested to see how much faster we are in qualifying, because maybe we'll have that same pace jump without even changing anything on the car.
Parker, wouldn't you say the hardest part when you have wheel lockup going into a corner like Canada corner, like Austin Cindric just did, the hardest part of saving that is you have to let off the brakes to save that. How are you supposed to let off the brakes when your car's going 20 miles an hour too fast into the corner?
That is a great point, and I think it's one of those things as a driver where you know it's happening, so you've noted it, you're seeing the smoke, you're smelling it, and you're going, all right, everything tells me I want to stop this car more, so I should give it more brake, but you have to go against your instinct, release that pedal, and just know you're going to be probably rolling more speed into the corner than you want. And I think if you look there, he was a little wide on the exit, and that's because as he released it, he just decided and made the choice to kind of sacrifice a little bit of speed, and he lost time doing that. But that's what you do to get away from that lockup and still kind of save a bit of the lap.
Yeah, the other thing is, with all that smoke, if you're going to see to where you're going, you've got to let off the brake too, so that'll get out of there.
That smoke comes up in the cockpit.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You can't see a thing.
And it smells really bad.
Yeah, it does.
This is Ross Chastain in the 4 and Tyler Reddick in the 9.
Having a great race in qualifying.
Tyler got together with Chastain's teammate, Catherine Legg, yesterday in practice. Did some damage to her car. Catherine has been on track. We saw her flash by 21st right now for the driver of the 15. Everyone now comparing to the 22 of Cindric. You'll see on the left there the cut line. 12th Sadler right now. He is in the bump zone.
We talked about drivers getting in each other's way, but I'm seeing Tyler Reddick doing something that I like to do on road courses, and that's have what we call a rabbit to chase, as he kind of runs off the racetrack, misses the Canada corner. I like to have a rabbit to chase in qualifying at these road courses, though. I'm not what I would call a qualifying specialist. So to have someone like Ross Chastain in front of me actually helps me get my braking points and helps me get into a better rhythm, because I feel like I'm already in the race as opposed to out there just by myself.
Yeah, until you make a mistake like that happened right there and trying to get a little too much, and that was really costly.
Chastain will settle right on the bubble there in the 4 car.
And in comparison, they ran around this place pretty much nose to tail there for a long time, and that one mistake that Reddick made, and he lost 2.5 seconds to what Ross Chastain did.
See Justin Marks there in the 42. Quick time. 18 of James Davison. He's in the green, top of the hill. Not quite, second quick.
Yeah. Justin Marks backing up what he did in practice yesterday. It's actually a little bit quicker, literally about 1/10 of a second faster than what he ran.
James Davison from Australia, and I bet Justin Marks has been there. World traveler and adventurer that he is.
You know he has.
Top of the board right now, road course specialists. Davison would like to be a winner in this series. Marks already is. Here is Davison's teammate, Christopher Bell.
Yeah, good solid lap by Christopher. You know, we've seen great improvement from, of course, you know, Watkins Glen didn't get a chance to practice in dry conditions at all, but we saw throughout that race that how much improvement he made. Got a solid top 10 out of it, went to Mid-Ohio and really ran well until he had some contact between himself and Elliott Sadler on a late race restart, and still managed to get back to 11th, I believe, that day. So you just see these skills continue to get better and better. Drivers, actually 7 drivers right now that are back out on the track.
Not 27 like earlier.
No, that's exactly right. If you run up on somebody now or you find yourself around somebody, then you've made a mistake this time, for sure.
Down the very long, kind of call it a back straightaway. Hard left-hander, turn 5. That will be a congestion spot later today.
Yes, it will. Yeah, the start of the race and the restarts are going to be exciting right there in that area. Great area to try to outbrake somebody, but if you make just a little bit of a mistake, we see them 2 and 3 wide through there, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Is that why there's a fantastic hillside with a whole lot of fans down there?
Got that right, yes. Yeah, they got there early this week to make sure that they could get right there at that spot.
Locking up that front left just a little bit.
See everybody pretty much do it through that part of the course there.
Of course, he had it up off the ground, so wasn't flat spotting it. Cascarala has finished up his lap, 17th best. And that blue and white 61.
He ran his fast lap there, but still only 17th.
Daniels in the green compared to Connor Daly, who is on the bubble.
Yeah, by quite a bit right now.
So is Truex and Jones. Can they make all the corners? 14 boys. Hang on to it. Nice through Canada there.
Yeah, Daniel does a good job in the way that he goes about it. It's what typical road racers do, and you'll see them not attack too hard to the corner, but in the gas sooner, as soon as they get to the apex of the corner, and then they're making their exit wide open and getting a lot of speed there. So it looks like he's going to get himself inside that top 12.
To the line, Hemrick. That will be good for... How about 10th?
Yeah, not a lot of wiggle room there is the only thing with other cars out on the track, but
he's bumped Daly. 19 seconds left. If you come to the green here, you can take this lap. This will be Truex coming to finish a lap.
It's going to be close, but it looks like he's might get in that 11th or 12th spot.
Trying to bump out last year's winner, Jeremy Clements. And the 51 is gone. Truex up to 11th. And I don't see the 51 back out on track. Elliott Sadler's going to try to bump his way in.
Yeah, but not looking like a very good lap here.
He's got 23 corners left. He can do it.
Brandon Jones right there close. See if he can negotiate this last corner, get up the hill.
There it was. Looking good, going the right way.
Yeah, good exit there, carrying a lot of speed up the hill.
Parked the tires just a little bit. Brandon Jones is going to work his way into the final round of qualifying with that run. And he bumps out Lally. Not worried about Lally going from 13th as opposed to inside the top 12. With Andy's veteran experience, let's see how much time Elliott's made up. He's under a second now, Dale.
Yeah, he's made up some time, but gosh, you're still talking about a lot of time. Yeah,
he's using the whole track, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You can hear him even on the rev limiter there.
Oh, nope. Not going to be happy with that exit. Sadler will not advance to the next round. Will he improve on 17th? So this puts him. Nope, not going to be. Michael Annett. Great run last year for him. Good strategy, fast race car at the end.
Yep, sure did. Ended up in 2nd spot. Somebody to watch today, see what strategies they get on this time and make it work.
So for Annett, 19th will be the best he can do. and he'll work his way forward. Where did he start last year? I'm kind of wondering, because I don't think he was in the top 12 last year. But again, strategy plays late in this race, Dale. If you could put on your tires at the latest point possible and still be within reach of the top group, you can have an advantage.
Yeah.
Round one is complete. Andy Lally just missed making the final round. And here you see drivers 13 through 40 who will start this afternoon's race. Dale, any surprises to you here?
Well, you certainly expect Elliott Sadler to be up inside in that top 12. Such a good qualifier, but didn't get it all done. Pretty good lap for Bill Elliott. As Parker pointed out, it was about a second and a half faster than what he ran yesterday, so starting to get the feel for it.
Let's head down to pit lane and talk to a driver who did not advance, or actually who did advance. He's with Landon.
He did advance. I've got Cole Custer here, who had a great lap in fourth. And we were talking a little bit. It's hard to figure out where you lost your speed. So where do you think you lost your speed on this huge 4-mile racetrack?
I think mostly on the braking and then just getting off the corner. I think I left a little bit out there, just trying to be a little bit conservative, just because you don't know exactly what you got going into qualifying. So I think I have some room to improve, and I think it seemed like as we fall off, we get better and better. So I think our Haas Animation Mustang's pretty good. Just gotta try and lay down a pretty good lap.
Well, just a few tenths off P1, so I would look for this 00 car to have a shot at the pole, Dave.
That's right. Only 7 minutes remaining in this 10-minute session. Brendan Gaughan flashes by now. Let's see what happened to Allgaier, DJ. Just past start-finish line, top speed pretty much on the racetrack.
Yeah, just trying to get all that you can. We talked about this being the high-speed part and getting what you can here, and just too much speed down in there to be able to, for the tires to be able to handle that. Didn't match everything up as far as his shift. So this just completely wipes out the entire lap. The thing is, I don't think he did any damage to the car.
And stayed out of the gravel. That was key. And he just caught it there before he went into it.
Yes, we'll get an indication here as he comes back around how much tape they have on it. They have too much tape on it. He's going to have no choice but to try to come in and quickly either take some tape off, maybe cool down for just a split second, and then head back to the racetrack. Or he can choose, if they haven't got that much tape and his temps are okay, then he can go on and make that lap now.
Crew Chief Jason Burdett has all that knowledge and is working feverishly in his brain right now to try to give Allgaier the best car he can for one more shot at it. See what kind of a lap Brendan Gaughan can put down. 2014 winner. Trying to repeat. Just a few races for Brendan this year in the Cup Series. He's raced the restrictor plate races, a couple of road courses for Richard Childress in this 3-car. Like having him around, love his perspective, and he'll give us a 2:13.89 for everyone to fire away at. James Davison making his way out onto the track. This is his warm-up.
Yeah, and Justin Marks, now he's got the top lap, but that's, gosh, about 7/10 slower than what he ran the first time.
Will it hold up? There is Justin shutting down the second yellow car there. Here comes Cole Custer. Spoke to him a minute ago. He is in the green compared to Marks. 1 corner to go.
Yeah, the door's kind of been open there by Justin Marks. Probably made a mistake somewhere in there and just didn't quite have the grip, maybe. Cole Custer's going to take the top spot right now.
Thank you very much. And now the times will be compared to front runner Custer. Let's go to Landon.
I want to talk to a good friend of mine, BJ McLeod, who is a very experienced veteran driver who actually driver coached me when I was 13 years old in Florida. But this weekend, you're not a driver, you're a car owner. Tell me about the nerves.
It's definitely different from being in a seat, because when you sit in a seat and crank the engine up, the nerves go away. So watching for, 2.5, 3 hours, you got two cars, 60, 70 grand a piece out there running around. It's a little nerve wracking, but I got really good drivers this week, and I'm really excited to see them out there. And my guys have done a heck of a job preparing the cars and getting them here. And this is one of the races that an underfunded team can have a top 15. So we finished 12th here last year with Josh Bilicki, and excited to have Sky Heckert and Ryan Ellis in the cars, and just can't wait to see what happens today.
Yeah, he's got a couple road course aces in the car. So if I'm going to interweb this together again to another road course ace, I've got Andy Lally driving for legendary car owner Mario Goslin, a fierce competitor of BJ's growing up in Florida. So you just missed second round qualifying. Tell me about your lap.
That was heartbreaking. We've got a good car. HenryUSA.com gave us a solid piece here with Mario and the guys hustling on this car. I caught lap traffic coming into 14, and that just destroyed us. So a bit heartbreaking not to make the second round. We were able to do it at Mid-Ohio. I only get to do this a few times a year, so that's our goal, is we try to get that top 12. And obviously now the bigger game, the bigger picture is the race in front of us, but it'll be a little trickier starting where we're at, but I think that we're going to see some pretty big tire fall off. So if we stay smart, stay clean, I think we can get back up there.
Yeah, well, Dave, don't count this guy out, because he is a road course specialist, but he's got a lot of seat time in these stock cars, so he knows how to race these with the fenders on it.
Yeah, not at all, Landon. And by the way, nice weaving. Car owner BJ McLeod, I talked to him at Bristol last week and told me this is the first time he could remember just standing on the sideline. Usually he races one of his cars and has the other with a sponsored driver, but this weekend, Heckert and Ellis, and a different kind of nerves. James Davison putting together a nice lap. Was in the green. Just popped out there. He goes back in. Right on the line, DJ.
Yeah, he's right there with Cole Custer. Actually, he's a little bit ahead, but you can see, it's interesting to see how they attack the racetrack at different points and times, where James Davison might pick up a little bit. See, pretty much all of them locking that left front up. It's just sitting there, not doing much through those left-handers.
Hey, DJ, as we watched that car go through turn 5 earlier, and he barely got that thing slowed down. It was wiggling around. I was standing next to Connor Daly down here, was watching our monitor as well, and we both shook our head and thought, wow, he just went deep on the brakes. It's an impressive lap.
He finished second last year. He started second. There were no time trials held, and then won the first stage, leading 11 laps in a crash that took him out of the event. But Davidson's going to be one to deal with today.
Yeah, and he's right there again. But how about this lap that Matt Tiff has going on right now? We talked about him being really good on these road courses. His technique is outstanding. Doesn't seem to get himself in trouble a lot. You can see right there, that was a spot apparently that Cole Custer just nailed, because Tiff was up 2.5 tenths on him. And that gap really closed up. He lost about 1.5 tenths. Let's see what he can do in this last corner.
Needs to hold here or do better. Here's the end of Davison's lap.
Close.
Good enough for second. Up the hill comes Tift. Still in the green. And he's got it. Matt Tift to the top of the board.
Wow. Talk about a 4-mile road course, and it gets him by 100th of a second.
Daniel Hemrick.
Like he might have been off course or something there a little bit.
Did not take, let's see.
I'm
trying to think if he came to the green or not. I don't think he did.
No, it doesn't look like he did.
Again, that warm-up lap can be your best friend, or in some cases an enemy. If you put a tire off, a tire wrong. Brandon Jones is not going to get a pole-worthy lap with this run. Let's see where it puts the 19 driver. 2.5 off the pace that Tift has set.
See Austin Cindric down there.
And you saw the clock expire, DJ, up on the upper right. So this is it. If you're on track now, coming to the line, this will be the end of the session. Truex not able to best. Reed is on track. Cindric a bit off from the speed of Tift. One wonders if that had something to do with the tire.
You have to wonder that, if that put him off somewhere and didn't get through well, or if it's just overall performance that he hurt those front tires.
So Ryan Reed will be the last car to come across. Hemrick will not post a lap. There's your pole sitter for this afternoon's race, Matt Tifft. We'll talk to him when we come back. Let's take a look at the starting grid for Road America this afternoon. Matt Tifft, his second career pole, will take Cole Custer to his outside, and then the second row, road course specialist, DJ.
Yeah, James Davison had a nice lap there. Justin Marks probably missed a little bit after leading round 1 of qualifying. Brendan Gaughan up in there, though, going to have a good look at it.
Austin Cindric ended up 8th. Here's rows 5 through 8. See Ross Chastain on the outside of row number 8 with Connor Daly to his inside. Last year's winner, Jeremy Clements, there in row 7.
Yeah, Elliott Sadler there, back 17th spot. Will have some work to do moving up through Michael Annett, who finished 2nd here last year.
There's Awesome Bill, 23rd, Dale, starting 23rd in the 23.
Number 23, yeah, that numbers game. And but I have a feeling he'll finish a lot better than 23rd.
There you go. Here you see the rest of the starting lineup for this afternoon's race. Parker's caught up with pole sitter Matt Tifft.
Right, he'll be starting first in the 2 car. I'm not sure if that means anything if you guys talk about 23 so much.
Yeah.
But man, where'd that lap come from? It was a great lap. Finished 3rd here last year. Did it feel that good?
Yeah, it felt really good. This is kind of cool. It's back-to-back poles from when we got in the Trans Am race and got this. So just a great job all weekend so far from our Dragon Alliance Richard Childress Racing team. Had a really good run here last year in both the Xfinity and ARCA races. And we've been close here so many times. And this piece has just been great all weekend. So, it's a privilege to come to these tracks. The Xfinity Series has such a great schedule, and I love these road course races. And, I just really hope we can keep it up there all day, but it's certainly nice to have the control on the start of the race to kind of control our own pace there.
And guys, you should have seen this team when you came across the line and went to P1. They were pumped, fist in the air. It was awesome.
You bet. Nice run for Matt Tifft. Here's the rest of the day on NBCSN. We'll see you at 2:30 for Countdown to Green. Thanks for joining us from Road America.